If you're about to go live on Whatnot for the first time, I need you to pump the brakes a little bit, take a beat, and just watch this video. You won't regret it. I started a business on Whatnot, ultimately grew it to a multiple six-figure business. I did it within the first year. Now I help other sellers build and grow real businesses. With all the mistakes that I've made and the mistakes I've seen my clients make, I've probably seen every mistake possible out there when it comes to starting on Whatnot. So I'm going to show you the ones that I've seen the most and probably matter the most. Not only will I be breaking down the top 5 mistakes that I see are just crushing sellers, I'm going to tell you why it happens, how to avoid it, and how to launch your business like a pro rather than a rookie. Mistake number 1 that I see new sellers do all the time is they try to copy what the big guys are doing. If you're on the app trying to sell, you've probably already been on Whatnot a little bit. You've made your way into some communities or been in some streams, and at some point or another you spent time in some of the big streams. I feel like we've all done that. You see that they have such a massive amount of people in their stream and people are bidding things up way beyond the market price, and they're just selling out no matter what they do, and they're on all the time. Naturally assume, right, like I need to do dollar starts, I need to give away a bunch of shit, and that's going to help me grow, and I'm going to build a massively successful business, and it's just going to happen all like magic. And I'm here to tell you that's not the case. I'm going to tell you that is not the case 100%. The truth is they did not start there. They started smaller, they scaled up, and they implemented these strategies as they went. Now these guys are at a point where they can do these things and not have to worry about it. They have a bunch of people in their streams, they have a loyal following, they have people who are buying no matter what, and they can actually, realistically, they can afford to lose some of the product. They can take losses here and there, and it's not going to hurt them. When you're starting out, ask yourself, how much money can I afford to lose? Because it goes fast. When I started out, I thought the same thing. I was like, this is what these guys are doing. It's obviously a strategy that works. I was like, I got this. I got $1,000 worth of product that I just accounted for as a loss. And I said, this is what I'm going to use for my dollar starts and my giveaways. I know I'm going to take small losses, but people are going to come and I'm going to grow so fast. And that was not the case. I did dollar starts. I had the best deals. I had the best product. I had early product, and that did not work. No matter how long I sat there for, it wasn't working. Right? People are coming in for giveaways and then they're gone. People come in and grab the dollar starts for $1, $2, and then they're gone. I watched a new seller decided they were going to run $20 value on their product giveaways every 5 minutes. They're going to take a big loss, but by the end of the stream, they thought they were going to have a massive following and they were going to be selling out everything else they had. Now, I tried to talk them out of this because I thought the same thing and I learned better. They were just adamant about it. So they decided they're going to do it anyway. It was so discouraging to them because they lost so much money. They didn't sell really anything. They tried to do another couple streams and they were not successful. Nobody showed up to their stream. They didn't sell a single thing. They tried a couple giveies, so they lost a few more bucks, and they were just so discouraged. They decided that this is not for them. They can't make it work, and they ended up quitting. You never want to start anything for less than what you're willing to let it go for. So if you did want to try like a discounted auction, do it where you're going to break even, right? Like a $2, $3 start, whatever the case is. Don't just do it randomly. You want to make sure you have at least a few people in there who are interested in it. And if you're going to do giveaways, I always ask myself, is this something I would wait around 5 minutes for? Yes? Okay, great. But also it's not going to hurt the bank. You're going to do it strategically, see how it works. If it's effective, great. Do a couple more if you can afford it. If not, cut it out, try something else. Eventually, you're going to get into your groove. You're going to start to build, and then you can think strategically about how to start implementing things like $1 starts. Now, copying the biggest streamers isn't the only mistake that's hurting every new seller who comes on the app. Mistake number 2 happens before you even go live, and that is no planning, no promotion, just hitting go live. Now, I know you're excited. You just got approved to go live and you want to start selling shit right away. The truth is, you're going to sell a damn thing. You don't have people coming to your stream. It's the equivalent of like opening a store and not telling anybody in advance or not promoting it. Like, you're not going to just like one day open a store and be like, I'm open, and expect people to come in. Right? You may get a straggler here and there, but nobody knows who you are and what you're doing. Now, it's still early and Whatnot, but it is saturated. So you need to get people to come to your stream. You got to let them know what's going on. You got to direct traffic to yourself. Like, don't just think because I have good products or I have cheap sales or whatever the case is, it's just going to work like that. So what you want to do is schedule a stream out, make it like 2 weeks in advance, get it all set up, load up all your items that you're going to have for your auction, get a good title and a thumbnail so it looks interesting, people want to join. Title it something like my first Whatnot stream, I got Labubu's. I don't know. It doesn't matter. People are happy to come and support you for your first stream. Once you're all set, back into those communities that you've been in. You've been in people's streams. I'm sure you made relationships with sellers, with other buyers. Get in there and start letting people know. I decided I'm going to start selling. I'm going to have my first stream on this day. Come support me. Come check it out. If you're in a seller stream, be respectful, obviously, because it's a big no-no to just be spamming streams that people you don't know or you don't have a good relationship with. But like, if you have a good relationship with some sellers, say, hey, would you mind if I promoted my stream, or would you mind promoting my stream? Some streams you can even buy a promotion where you buy something out of their bin and you donate it to the chat, and they'll spend the time that giveaway is running promoting your stream. You want to let people know, I'm opening my store, I'm having my grand opening, you know, in 2 weeks, you know, come check me out, I'd appreciate it. And the cool thing about the bookmarks is, even if they forget, people get notifications on their phone that you're going live, and it'll tell them to stream and everything, so they'll remember, like, oh yeah, it's this person's first stream, I forgot, I got Labubu's, I'm gonna come check them out and show some support. You'll be surprised in these communities you're in, people love to support other people in their communities, especially with a new seller. They want to, especially from other sellers, because we've all been through it, they want to come and show you some love. Otherwise, you're gonna have a really bad stream, trust me. I've seen it time and time again, where you get almost no traffic, no sales. If you're doing giveaways, you're losing money. And I've also seen on the flip side, when you follow these steps, like people I've helped or people I've been in communities with, they launch and they sell out, like massively successful first streams. I've seen a stream get $2,000 in sales and have nothing. Like, they were trying to find stuff. She was trying to find things to sell because she sold out of everything she had, and everybody was having a good time, and she wanted to keep going and make more money. And so she's like finding stuff she wasn't planning on selling, and like, we can do these, and everybody's like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. And so you can have a massively successful stream, but it's not going to happen just by getting approved, opening your app, going live, and say, I'm here. Good community engagement is really all you need. But if you're also a social media person and you're on social media, let everybody know. Because even if you put yourself out there on social media and you're like, hey guys, I decided I'm going to start selling on Whatnot, why don't you guys come check me out? I'd appreciate support. The cool thing about that is, if somebody joins and they've never been on Whatnot and they purchase something, whether from you or anybody else, you get a buyer's credit. So you get credit that then you can use in other people's stream to buy stuff. Get people in there, let people know, be excited about it. It is your first stream, and if this is something you want to look at as a possible business or career, you should be excited. It's a big step. Here's a little tip that I recently started telling clients in TSU to do. If you're going to post on social media, be sure to go on Facebook, go to the groups. There are tons of Whatnot seller groups. There's like 3 major ones that I can think of, and it's all about Whatnot sellers helping Whatnot sellers, right? There's even one group, if I'm not mistaken, it's like Whatnot share your links or Whatnot, something like that. And it's literally thousands of people in these groups, and they're asking questions, they're getting help, they're promoting their streams, and you're allowed to do this in here. And you'll be surprised, people in your category, in your niche, are going to see that and they're going to join your first stream. I guarantee you, if you get into these Facebook groups, you let people know, I have my first stream coming up, and I got Labubu's, they're going to want to support you, because everybody who's a seller has been through that. So get it out there, get it scheduled, start planning it, hold off on going live. Trust me, it'll be worth it, and you should be okay. Planning isn't the only thing. You have to know what you're planning for as well. If you don't know what you're doing, you might run into some issues when you're actually running your show. And that's going to bring me to mistake number 3, going in blind, or not researching your niche or your category. Just going in blind. And I know you're thinking right now, what do you mean? I have my Labubu's, right? And I got Labubu's. I'm going to sell my Labubu's. And that's great, but having a product is like only part of the equation. It's like buying the ingredients for a recipe and really not understanding how to put it together. That's kind of a bad analogy, but you get my point, right? Threw myself off. Just shitty analogy. Where was I? Okay. You get the idea of what I'm trying to say. And what I mean by that is, you'll notice that there's certain patterns that will take place within your niche. It doesn't matter what category you're in, it happens everywhere. And you want to be able to get kind of a tempo on that, right? And so you go to different streams, big, large, small, and just kind of pay attention to what they're doing, and maybe ask yourself questions. Get a notepad, right? And say like, okay, what items is it that's causing people to bid so high on these? Or what are they doing to get people to bid like that? Are they doing sudden death auctions? Are they doing regular auctions? Bundle deals, right? Sometimes people want to do like auctions and get bundle deals, or pack your own box, or whatever the case is. Like in pallets, before it was like, let's open up some pallets and go through and just auction off items. Whereas now you see like case packs being a big popularity, or like build your own boxes where the chat say, let's grab that, throw it in there, and they load up a box, and then they put the box for auction. So you really kind of want to get a tempo on what's popular in your niche. What I would really do also is spend some time in your communities and sellers that you've been hanging out in those streams, and get a feel for what they're doing. You may have been in there, not really paid attention, because a lot of those people coming from those communities, especially the buyers, they're going to be the ones coming to support you, right? And there's a reason they're there, and there's a reason you're there. It's probably because of what these sellers are doing. And so get a feel for what they're doing and kind of get an idea of why it's working. What are they doing that's making it work, and how specifically are they doing it? Pay attention to anything you can note that you think like, oh, that's a good idea, right? And you'll notice it stand out when you're actually paying attention to like why things work. You'll notice things you didn't think you would notice. Point is, try to learn as much as you can about what buyers are looking for in your niche and what's working in these streams, and then take that and apply that to the products that you have and figure out a way to try to replicate the success that these other sellers are having and make a better experience overall and a smoother experience overall for your buyers. You will make mistakes and people will expect that, but if you create that experience where people are going to be like, wow, you took the time to prepare, you got your prices down, you got your bin loaded, you actually, have a strategy in place, you know what you're talking about, they're going to want to come back, and you're going to use that momentum to build a repeat buyer base. But that's usually where most people stop, is just putting the strategy there. So why not eliminate as much mistakes as possible? And that's what brings me to mistake number 4, is having no platform familiarity. Again, it's like going in blind, right? You got all this stuff and you're like, mentally, you're checking off things. Like, I got this organized. I have my stack of product here. I know I'm going to do this. I got my display set up. Actually running the show is a whole different animal in itself. You're not really understanding how to actually run a show, how to change things in your bin, how to run a giveaway, how to start an auction, how to pin an item, how to put a poll up. You start to fumble through these things because, especially if you're doing everything successful, you're going to have people in your show, and it is a little stressful. It gets you build some anxiety up, and it's kind of exciting at the same time. And I've seen sellers be like, okay, we're going to get started. And then they realize at that moment, shit, I don't know how to pin this product, or I don't know how to run this giveaway. You get flustered, and trust me, I've seen it happen over and over and over again. And so what I started telling new sellers recently to start doing, schedule a practice stream out. And I recommend everybody does a practice stream, but not like just start it up and say, okay, I got this, I got that. No, get a practice stream, and we're going to go for an hour. I'm going to join your stream. You're going to send me the invite, and nobody else can join. It's a private stream, so it's just us two. And I'm going to throw things at you. I'm going to tell you, run a giveaway. Actually, can you print this product for me? Actually, can you give me $5 discount on this product? Can you run an auction? Can you make a sudden death auction? You're going to learn to do these things ahead of the show, and you're going to create a muscle memory and familiarity, so that way when the time comes, you have 20, 30, 40 people in your stream and you're trying to sell things. You're not going to lose 5 random people that strolled in looking for the boo-boos because you're trying to figure out how to pin an item or run a giveaway. You will, one, decrease the amount of time it's going to take you to get some sales in, so you'll be able to get more sales through. You'll keep the experience really fun and smooth, and you'll be able to create these repeat buyers. They're going to want to be at your next streams. And kind of pro tip here, schedule at least like 3 or 4 streams out, because during your first stream, you're going to tell people, I have a stream for next week, go bookmark it. Right? You're going to start accumulating bookmarks for all your future streams. I would say probably the best benefit of this is the toll and that it takes on you. I've noticed that when people are following these steps and they take the time to run a practice stream, it actually makes a difference in how their experience goes as a seller. Since I've started doing this with sellers, with new sellers, they finish their stream and they're like,
yeah, it wasn't that bad. Like, you made it sound like it was going to be fucking horrible or a shit show.
I'm just like, I don't know what to fucking tell you. I was panicking in mine. Like, I didn't even get nothing but a sale, or, you know what I mean? I was just trying to run a giveaway. I start panicking, and I've seen it happen over and over. Lately, that's been the feedback since people have been doing these practice streams. So you definitely want to take at least an hour and get a practice stream in and really go through everything that you can possibly think of that you'll have to do during a live stream. And again, pay attention. If you're in other seller streams, pay attention to what they have to do during their streams. Somebody might say, can you give me this for $5 off? And they go change the price. Okay, I need to know how to adjust prices from my show screen. Or, I want to add a giveaway, or, things like that. So pay attention and really kind of make a checklist for yourself of everything you need to do. Go live for an hour on a private stream, test stream, and knock all these things out and do them multiple times. Run the auction 5-6 times. Search for items in your bin. Pin the item, switch back, find another auction item, run an auction from a pinned item that's not an auction, pinned item that's from a buy it now product in your bin, run an auction from that. All the things you see other sellers doing, practice doing that, and that way you know how to do it when the time comes. Even if you still get a little flustered, it will be a big difference in 5 minutes trying to figure out how to run a giveaway versus, oh shit, where was it again? Okay, giveaway. Okay, yeah, here it is. I got it. That's a lot better than having to wait 5 minutes. Now, having all that familiarity and everything, it's going to help you. It's going to make you feel a little bit more confident. You have your strategy, you have everything in place. And so you're going to be ready. But like I said, you're going to get flustered at some point, or you might make a mistake. And that brings me to mistake number 5. Go at your own pace. take your time. I've seen catastrophic mistakes happen because sellers are trying to keep up with everything that's going on. Ask for a little patience. You're going to be prepared. You're going to do your practice stream. You have your strategy in place, but you're not going to be as fast as you see these other sellers. You're going to be, what do I do with this? Did I tag that? I got to run the giveaway, right? It's going to take you a while to get into your own rhythm. And so during this time that you're new, when you have the most kind of leniency and patience from your viewers, take advantage of it and take your time, because the last thing you want to do is make a mistake like somebody buys something for like $200 and you send it to somebody else, because now you got to figure out how to fix that, or your reputation is shot. So it will behoove you never use that word in like a fucking, just go at your pace. Ask for patience. You know, if you're like, I can't really find this thing, or I'll just do this, just, hey, give me a second here. It's my first time, you know, I've never really changed the price. Let me just figure it out. Or, you know, hold on, the giveaway runs. It's like, all right, hold on, I'll do the giveaway here in a minute. Let me first get this settled. Do one thing at a time and take your time. Nobody probably is going to rush you or put pressure on you. Maybe some asshole who strolls into your stream and is like, you know, giving you a hard time. But the people who are there, they're supporting you. They understand what's going on. They're not going to be putting pressure on you, and they're not going to have the expectation of you being a professional streamer automatically. They understand that, and just keep that in mind. Make that your truth, right? Take a breath whenever you start to feel flustered. Take a breath, like, okay, these guys are here to support me. They understand. Let me do one thing at a time. Let me get this knocked out. Then I can deal with this. And then we'll go back to finding out what this asshole needs. You'd rather let that asshole leave, because a lot of times they're not even going to buy it. A lot of times people will ask for stuff or whatever, and they're just not even, like, they won't want the price or whatever. But like, you'd rather lose a potential sale than lose an already existing customer to mistakes that you can't remedy. Or even if you try to, they're like, well, that was a bad experience. I bought this thing and then I had to go through this whole process of waiting because he sent it to the wrong person, and I maybe need this by a certain time, or whatever the case is. And so you want everybody's first experience to be as best as possible, and them already knowing to give you a little bit of leniency, and you still provide that, is going to be better than you trying to accommodate everybody and doing multiple things at once, and you start to make mistakes. Even the best streamers, the most experienced, do things like this from time to time, because it gets overly exciting when it gets busy. And if you're just starting out on Whatnot, I did make another video with a complete step-by-step guide of your 10 steps to start successful on Whatnot, and I would definitely recommend watching that. There's some strategies in there. There's some things about getting started, some do's, some don'ts. It's a kind of comprehensive playbook that goes along with the video. So I would recommend watching the video, downloading the playbook, reviewing it. And on that note, I also made a little playbook guide to go along with this video, and I may have thrown some bonus mistakes in there and some other extra goodies in there, because that's just what I do. I'm cool like that. You can access both of those in the description below. And if you are thinking about getting serious and building a real business on Whatnot, I have a link below where you can apply for my 6-week growth system program for Whatnot sellers. I only take 15 people at a time, and it's a 6-week program designed to put yourself in a position to grow your Whatnot business right from the gate. And with that, I really hope that you take the time to leave a comment or like or subscribe, because we are really trying to get this going. I'm trying to reach as many Whatnot sellers or potential Whatnot sellers as possible. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.